When you're living at Dickens Lodge, can you just confirm, is that a P3 accommodation?
That's right, it's a P3 accommodation.
And it's what stage is it?
Stage 1.
Stage 1, okay. And so how long have you been living at Dickens Lodge?
I've been at Dickens Lodge since the second week in July.
July, oh okay,
Yes,
so we're about 8 months now, something like that?
Yes.
Okay. So with your story, what brought you to be now living at Dickens Lodge?
I was minding my own business one day in Belston Town Centre. Some bloke punched me in the back of the head. I'm not a troublemaker, so I got up and run. The only thing I could see was a little wall which I jumped over, and it ended up being like a 1-storey floor drop. And then the bloke jumps over the wall straight onto my leg. After that it was just a blur. I was in and out of consciousness until I woke up in hospital.
And then, so you said you was in Bilston when you was minding your own business.
Yes.
So what was you in Bilston for? Was you doing a bit of shopping or?
No, I was just sitting there minding my own business, and like I say, I don't know if the bloke was drunk, on drugs or whatever, but like I say, I felt the punch in the back of the head. I'm not a troublemaker, I keep myself to myself. Okay. And it happened. So
when you was obviously in Bilston,
yeah,
and you obviously were taken to hospital, was you in the was you in the accommodation then, or was
no,
so where was you living when you had the accident happen?
I was just sleeping rough.
Right, okay. And how long had you been sleeping rough?
Nearly a year.
Rough. Quite a while then.
Quite a while.
And so when you were sleeping rough, what would be sort of like your daily challenge, your hardest daily challenge when you're sleeping rough?
Finding food. Obviously trying to get benefits because of having no ID. And it got to a point, every door what was open, 2 or 3 were shut in my face, and then after so many months you totally lose yourself, you lose your confidence, you give up, and it's so easy to go down that road.
Okay. So also is when you're obviously living on the streets, did you have was you dependent on anything, alcohol or drugs at the time?
Yes,
when you were on the streets?
I was dependent on drugs.
Okay. And how long had you been dependent on drugs?
Probably about, no exaggeration, probably about 15 months.
Right, okay. And how did that come about, you getting involved in drugs?
Stupidity to myself really, plus being around the wrong people, and then before you know it you're addicted.
A bit like peer pressure?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Did you get involved in drugs first time when you, because you said to me before this, is that you was working prior to obviously being...
I've worked ever since I left school.
Yeah.
And like I say, I lost my job on Christmas Day, and everything went downhill for me there. And when you're on the streets, it's so easy to fall into that trap, and that's what happened to me.
Yeah. So had you started to use drugs when you were currently working?
Yes, it did start when I was first working.
And
then, like I say, I was working just to make ends meet, just to survive, just to feed my habit.
Yeah. And did you when you were working, what was your accommodation when you were working?
I was stopping in a caravan on the actual site itself.
Oh right, okay. So I suppose so you lost your job and you also lost your accommodation.
That's right, yes.
Yeah. Okay, is that right? So again so your daily challenges would have been obviously trying to get food, and then how did you go about then, if you're obviously living on the streets, is to fund your addictions or your habits?
Begging really, and busking, but it's one of those things, like I say, when you've got nothing in your pockets, you can't get food, it was just one of those things. I didn't want to do it, but it's to survive, just so I can get some food in my belly. And
would it be okay to ask us what sort of like monies you would have made, say on a daily basis? What money you would have made from busking? Or
£25 a day.
Okay. And was that able to fund your at the time your habit?
That's right. Yes.
Okay. So I suppose then the £25 would have paid for your habit, and then obviously other like donations of like food and drink and stuff would that have been sort of like from members of the public?
That's right, from members of the public, plus the local Greg's, what was in Bilston. I knew the manager who went to school with me, and he'd bring me like a cup of tea and out in the morning, a sandwich, make sure I was okay.
So on that then you had this terrible accident.
Yes.
And woke up at New Cross. And what was the damage to your leg?
Broke tibia and fibia and shattered both sides of my ankle.
Wow.
And I've been in recovery since.
So that was about last July?
July, yeah.
July, so your accident happened.
And I had to have it reset 3 times. They've just found out now that the bar, what they put in my leg, is actually broken.
Who was your first point of contact that you had in the hospital?
Sarah from P3.
Okay, brilliant. And what did then Sarah offer to do with, for you or help you?
Well, when Sarah first came in, she didn't know anything about me. She turned up. I had no clothes what to wear, obviously, because the ambulance people cut them off me. So fair play to Sarah. She went to Bentley Bridge, bought me some tracksuit bottoms, top, and then we had a little discussion. And the only place I could get in was Broad Street, the night shelter. Wasn't ideal, but it's something I had to take so I could get into Dickens Lodge. And apart from there, like I said, I've been there since.
Okay. And so how many nights did you stop at the night shelter?
From the Friday, discharged late Friday afternoon, and I was there till the Monday morning.
So on the Monday, I presume then is Sarah from P3.
I came to P3. I came to the Navigator.
On the Monday morning?
On the Monday morning,
okay.
And then they took me over to Dickens Lodge.
Okay. And so then you've now been living at Dickens Lodge for like nearly probably about 8 months, 9 months.
Yes.
And so, do you have like a key worker at Dickens Lodge?
Yes, I've got a key worker, Val. Val at P3 keeps basically on track of me, makes sure I'm not taking drugs anymore. She helps me do all my paperwork. Marvin at P3 Dickens Lodge, he takes me to most of my interviews or appointments.
Yep.
He's not missed one, my hospital appointments, probation appointments. P3's been really fair with me, really.
And how have you found the support with them? Obviously, because how long have you been drugs free?
9 months now, been over 8 months since June.
And how has the drug services helped you during that as well?
I didn't actually go through drug services. I'd done my detox on painkillers while I was in hospital. It was a really hard time. It was the worst 3 days of my life, the pain, the sleepless nights, but I've not looked back since.
Wow. Where are you at now with your life? So you've had a roller coaster of like probably 2 years nearly enough now.
Yes.
So what are your sort of like plans for the future? What would help you progress now in life? And with the support of P3?
Well, with P3, obviously, they're keeping me busy, doing all the interviewees.
Is that interviews for jobs?
Yes, interviews for jobs for P3.
Yeah.
I've helped set up with a conference and that at Christmas gone. I've got to some of the meetings what they have all around different places, Birmingham and that, just to keep myself busy. And my long-term goals is now, like I say, once I'm a lot better, I want to go get back into work.
And what would be, because your job before was working as a car dismantler.
Yep.
So if you're a car dismantler, what would be now your sort of like, your life's changed dramatically, what would you like to have as like a dream job?
To be honest, due to me being a car dismantler and with my injury now, I can only take things steady, so I'd like to go back into car dismantling or car repairing.
Right, okay. So it'd still be like the area
same kind
of work
job,
that
yeah,
you could do. Yeah, okay. And how have you found sort of like I suppose because it's classed as now, you're a resident,
yes,
P3,
yeah.
And I suppose it's more about volunteering, realistically.
That's what I've been doing, volunteering for P3, just to keep myself, my brain sane and keep myself motivated, keep positive. So easy to fall back into that trap and I'm not doing it.
How could I come into this service and probably help clients or residents? You know, like
regarding like helping around the city
helping the P3, like so Dickens Lodge now. So if I rocked up and said to Marvin or Val there, what could I do for 5 hours to help you? Because they're paid staff, so I'd be giving my time free.
Yeah.
So is there anything that I could do to help them at P3 that you could think of? Don't say cooking.
No, you're saying that we have been doing a bit of cooking just like that.
Yes, right, okay.
Well, around P3 I basically help the cleaner out and that.
Okay. So you do a bit of domestics. Domestic chores, cooking. What have you cooked?
We cooked chicken curry and that the other day for everybody, but we had a little competition in between, like a quick quiz, which was good.
And what was the chicken curry like?
Really spicy.
Was that good?
Yeah, really good.
And that, I suppose, then that sort of like brings you all together as residents.
Yeah, it brings you all together, but it's so easy to solidate yourself.
Yeah.
And like I say, little things like that in P3, just little cooking competitions, game of cards. It keeps everybody together. It keeps the
sort of like the community of Dickens Lodge. Yeah. What is sort of like the long-term goal to do with like your leg? How has the hospital give you any indication of how long you think you'll be?
No, not
still
really.
Needing
no,
some
not really. My worst case scenario is that they'll have to operate again. which all that time I've been in this cast, I could have been back in recovery. But it is what it is. I've got to stay strong, mentally, physically, and that's what I'm intending to do.
Good for you. So is there anything else that you would want to tell us or you would like to share?
Well, I've achieved most of my goals now. It's only been a short time, like I say, 9 months. I'm drug free, I'm happy, I engage with P3, I've made amends with my daughter.
Oh, that's lovely.
Nothing else matters.
How old's your daughter?
11.
11,
Yep.
Okay. So do you know how to see your daughter?
She came and see me Christmas Day out of the blue after being like out for a year. Daft as it sounds, I didn't want her to see me as I was. I wanted to remember me how I used to be. And I was at the P3 Dickens Lodge Christmas Day. I had a message come through, and then I looked out the window and she was there.
Oh, so, how lovely! So she's 11. So she's at quite what's the influencing age, isn't she now? So yeah.
I did bring her up as a single dad from the age of 12 months till she was 8 as a single dad.
Wow.
And the agreement was when her mum sorted herself out, she could have her back, and me being a man of my word, I did that. And that's when my life started to tumble, because you have purpose, and when you lose that purpose, it's so easy to go downhill.
Yeah. Oh, that's really
I'm
interesting.
intending to bounce back.